Well, thank you, Ajiri. We've got Mr. Dennis Tamakre, who is a former assistant director with the SSS. He's also a security consultant. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Well, there's many questions about how this is playing out, many questions, particularly about security. We've heard so many say, look, there seems to be a failure of intelligence. We don't get to hear at least briefings or commentary or addressing the several questions that people have. Let me ask you, from what you've seen, are you satisfied, or do you think that security agencies in this country can actually do more, particularly with respect to gathering of intelligence on this matter?
I think they could do more. They are doing a lot right now. But why we are having this particular problem is because of the structure of the security services that we have in the country. People are complaining that the police is not there to help them. The SSS is not giving them enough intelligence to react. And you find out that maybe the intelligence is being gathered but kept somewhere, not shared.
But when you say structure,
yes,
what exactly do you mean?
Okay. If you look at let's go back to the fundamentals. All security agencies in Nigeria came out from the police. And, you know, the SSS, NSO in those days came out from the police. The army itself came out from the police. You know, the Hausa Constabulary, which later formed the Nigerian army. Now you find out that all of them, EFCC, all of them, customs, they all came out from the police. And the police itself had remained the way it has been. That unitary structure it has maintained over the time has been a big problem. People have
unity structure in the sense that what command and control comes from the IG,
command and control is from the IG, then you have a state commissioner of police, and then all the way down, and then governors are complaining that they could not. They are CSOs of their states, but they cannot control the.
But that's not down to the IG, is it? Because the president is the commander-in-chief. He takes instruction from the president.
He takes instruction from the president, but you know, like I said, it's top-down. You know, where it should be decentralized. Decentralized in the sense that, you know, that's the way everybody is going. Even the United States, where we copied our constitution, you have one federal police, and then you have state police. You have sheriffs who are in charge of local governments. Even universities have their own police. You know, estates have their own police.
But so, are we not asking for too much? I mean, in an environment where you have schools of thought that believe that having this kind of decentralized policing system will cause more problems.
It doesn't. Because, you see, we have been so much used to the old policing system. So even the police, the federal government is worried. I could remember very, very well, before this government came into power, they were the ones that were agitating for state police, especially in Lagos State here. You know, and we were, you know, and one of the proponents that said, yeah, state police is good and we should go that way. But now they're in government and nobody is talking about it. You know, why? Because people believe that the police is the teeth of government that can be used either to oppress your opponents, and then they believe that if you leave some of that responsibilities to the states can now have their own teeth to deal with, you know, especially opposition.
But isn't that still a concern? Is it not a worthy concern?
It is not, because they were not doing it rightly. The federal police have federal laws to enforce. The state police will have state laws to enforce.
So at what point would there be interference?
There will be interference, or there will be, should I say, cooperation and collaboration. Just like it is done. There are federal laws. If there is a kidnap case, for instance, the state, a state policeman, you know, they come to report that somebody has been kidnapped, and they are tracing that kidnappers. The state policeman at a point will hand over that case, call the FBI, Or call the Nigerian state police and say, look, we have a case for you here. And they will go and deal with it. If you have a murder case in a local government handled by a sheriff, it should be wise enough to say, okay, this is a murder case. You know, it's not just somebody dying. It's a murder case. So let's transfer it to the appropriate level of policing. You know, it's not somebody, like you, for instance, you see federal police controlling traffic in Lagos. Controlling traffic is local government issue, not a federal government thing.
So what you're saying is, if the structure of the police system in Nigeria is broken down,
yes,
this matter of insecurity, killings across the country,
yes,
can be handled?
It can be handled because, you see, the basic intelligence coverage of any state or local government is where the law enforcement agents know exactly who is in that area and who lives there, who comes in, who goes out, and they should be able to police it properly. So they know, and they can report. When Umaru Dikko was being created out of London, it was a lady that saw him from her kitchen window and called the police that this is what is happening. I think somebody is being abducted, and they have to follow up on that. So why can't we break it down, allow these people, you transfer a policeman from Maiduguri to Lagos, yeah. It takes him years to understand the environment.